Good afternoon, class. Welcome to this course. This course is called Love Yourself 101. This is our second time meeting, and if this is your first time meeting me or attending this course, I'm Professor Tolbert. It's great to see you. It's amazing to see all of these new faces up in here today. Like, it's amazing, honestly. Like, you, all of you all are new, you know what I mean? So basically, if you're new to this course is about loving yourself. We met a couple of weeks ago and I gave you all a little break, took a little hiatus or whatever, and we're back meeting, and we're going to meet often. I'm your professor, Professor Tolbert, and the last time we met, we talked about how it all starts with you finding hobbies, finding God, everything like that. It was just like the beginning to it. And if you're new, I'm gonna give you a quick sum up. I just said find hobbies, find things that you can do that will help you love yourself more. I said talk to God, I said pray, everything like that. That's really the basic base of loving yourself, if we're being honest. But look, this week will be about letting go of your past. Now, this is something that we all have issues with. We all have issues with letting go of our past. We tend to hold on to things that happen, or we tend to hold on to a version of ourselves that has already passed. Well, we must understand that our life is cut into seasons. Just like how this earth right here has seasons. As you can see, it's like fall. You know what I mean? You see the background, you see everything. We're outside today. So what I'm trying to say is that our life is broken into seasons. You have to understand that the version of yourself that you are today might not be the version of yourself that you see tomorrow. You got to understand that our life is continuously growing. Like, we're continuously growing as a person. We're continuously growing. Like, we're not going to be the same person who we were yesterday, today, or today, tomorrow. We're just continuously growing. We have to understand that. And we tend to let trauma affect how we are today. We tend to allow it to not make us love ourselves, whether it might be someone who we dealt with in the past, or whether it might be a situation that happened that caused you to not love yourself, whether it might be a certain change that happened into your life and you're questioning God and asking God, like, why, and you're not loving yourself. You have to understand that you got to release. You got to learn the art of detachment. And what do I mean by the art of detachment? You got to let go. And it's as simple as that. You can't hold on to these things, because what you got to understand is, like, how can you possibly grow if you're holding on to something that's in the past? If you need an example, I'm going to tell you. That's like this right here. Okay, think about the tires on a car, right? A tire on a car only lasts for a certain amount of time, or we can compare it to some brakes, right? Some brakes on a car. So basically, you're driving. After a certain amount of miles, your brakes are going to start squeaking. What I'm trying to say is everything is seasonal. Everything is seasonal. We have to understand that that version of ourselves that was hurt, we got to let that hurt be hurt. We got to let go. We got to learn detachment, because at the end of the day, it's all about growth. It's all about self-love. I was over here just thinking about this episode, thinking about me making this episode, and I came up with the perfect quote for this episode. And like I said, if this is your first time seeing my face, like how I said, this is the perfect quote that I can sit with you. So when you think about self-love, right? You think about loving yourself. It's kind of like a equalizer type thing. Equals. Kind of like a yin yang type thing. Kind of like love yourself. What is, okay, and I'm about to break it down to you. Look, when you think about self-love, right? Flip it around. It equals love self. You have to understand, in order to self-love, you got to love yourself. You see what I'm saying? But in order for you to love yourself, you got to remember that it all starts with you, and that you have to let go of the past. You got to let the past be the past, because at the end of the day, it's all about growth. How can we possibly grow if we're holding on to something in the past? We got to allow ourselves to become the best version of ourselves. Like, another example that I can give you, you got to understand that an iPhone has to update. Not even just the iPhone. Phones have to update, right? If you don't update your phone after a while, your phone starts glitching. It starts acting weird, for real. So you got to understand that life is all about updating. Life is all about changes. It comes so often that us as humans, we're afraid of change. Why? Because change is different. Change is something that we're not used to. Us as humans, we want to stay in the comfort zone so much. We want to stay in our little box because this is all that we know. We have to understand that we have to grow. We have to move. Us as humans, we got to adapt to change. That's just how God made us to be. We have to adapt to change. So if change happens into our life, we're so used to what we see to where when change comes, we're uncomfortable. We don't like it. We complain. We are aggravated by it. Like, why am I seeing change? I don't want to see change. Like, I'm comfortable with what I have. And you have to understand that, listen, life is all about changes. Life is all about growing. It's like steps. You got to take it one step at a time. Bam, 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 bam. It's all about moving up. You can't stay on one step. This is going to be deep. You can't stay on one step expecting for yourself to get on the top. It does not work like that. You have to work your way on up. You got to walk, take it one step at a time. Bam, 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 bam. But you can't stay up on that one step just because you're traumatized, just because you feel as if you had a situation that hurt you a certain way. Like, nah, you have to understand that life is all about growing. Life is all about changing. Life is all about moving forward. But you can't move forward if you're holding on to the past. You see what I'm trying to say? I'm just trying to tell y'all, class, that this right here is important. We have to love ourselves, because you got to understand that, listen, when we're able to love ourselves, we're then able to love God even more. We have to understand that us as humans, it's all about growth. It's all about growth. And that's all it's about. It's all about moving forward. It's all about understanding that change is good. Us as humans, we automatically see change as bad. Change is not bad. It's all about growing. It's all about growing. Change is good. If we listen, we got to deprogram our mind. We have to deprogram our mind, because it comes so often that this society, this world that we live in, is so cruel. It's so toxic. Like, us as humans, we're just so freaking toxic. But listen, we can break up out of that way. But we got to understand that before we motivate others, before we enlighten others, before we help others love themselves, we have to love ourselves. Because why? It all starts with you. And it's as simple as that. If it all starts with you, right? You understand that you're finding hobbies, you're finding God. You understand that you have to let go of the past. Now it's like, what's holding you back? It's so much more that I want to tell you all. It's so much more that I want to break it down to you on how I've loved myself so much more. Like, it's so many things that I can tell y'all in order for y'all to love yourself. But for this week, for us meeting, I chose to let go of the past. The past is the past for a reason. We can't do anything to change the past. We can only change today. We have to understand that. We can't do nothing to change the past. The past is the past. You over here saying, oh, this happened yesterday. Oh, that happened last month. Oh, that happened last year. Nah, bump that. What about what happens today? What about what happens today? Stop reflecting. You got to understand that you have to stop reflecting. Don't get it wrong. Nostalgia is a great thing when it comes to good memories. But why are you nostalgic over bad things that happen into your life? Because now that you're nostalgic on bad things that happen into your life, now you're holding yourself back. Now you're not able to love yourself like how you're supposed to. Why? Because you're holding on to the past. Class, listen, I'm going to ask y'all a question. I want y'all to answer it. You can comment down below if you're watching this right now, or class, you can say it out loud. What must you do in order to love yourself? What did we start off by saying? What did the first time we meet, what did I tell you all to do? What did I say that it all starts with? It all starts with what? Comment down below. What does it all start with? Tell me, what does it all start with? Okay? And then here's the second part to it. This is a two-part question. And then for this week, this time that we met, what did I say that you had to do in order to grow? Comment down below. Class, what did I say? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Great job. Listen, life is all about growing. You got to remember that it all starts with you. It's like an equal yin-yang type thing. In order to self-love properly, you got to love yourself. Talk to them. In order for you to truly master self-love, you have to love yourself. And it's as simple as that. Listen, you got to understand that God is literally your best friend. And I'm pretty sure a couple of y'all who looking at my video, who looking at my face right now, don't believe in God. And that's perfectly fine. But listen, you got to understand that God is real. I'm not going to push religion on you. But what I'm going to say is that, listen, if you can pray, you got to understand that God tells us that if we can have that faith, just as small as a mustard seed, we don't have to have that 100% faith. But you know how small a mustard seed is? It's smaller than that. Like, you have to understand that life is all about growing. Life is all about change. Life is all about adapting. You got to understand that. So you just got to focus on yourself. You got to focus on your life. You got to better yourself, better your life. You got to truly love yourself, because at the end of the day, life is all about loving yourself. You can't love nobody else if you don't love yourself. And that's where we come into problems. You get what I'm saying? Because we tend to drain ourselves even more because we're trying to get other people to love themselves, for them to see the work within themselves, when we don't even love ourselves for real. Come on now. Come on now. Listen, it gets deeper. It gets deeper. We gonna keep meeting, class. I would love to thank every single one of y'all who came out. It means so much to me. I want to appreciate every single one of y'all. Like, I'm trying to help y'all love y'allself even more on how I've learned how to love myself. I'm so in love with myself. I got so much confidence in myself that can't nobody tell me nothing. As y'all can see, I got so many people around me. I got so many cars right here. So many cars passing by. But guess what? This is something that I want to do. I want to inspire y'all. I want y'all to make sure that y'all love yourself 100%. This is all about growing. I'm changing the world. I'm changing the world. I'm doing something that most should be doing, but guess what? I'm gonna open up their eyes so that I can be the doorway. I can open up this door so that other people who believe in me, other people who view me, other people who support me can do the same. Listen, you got to understand that I'm just doing the light of God. I'm just a vessel. You got to understand that. And that's why I'm trying to get y'all closer to God. That's why I'm trying to get y'all to love yourself even more, because it's important. It's important. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for tuning out to this episode. I want to thank y'all for 1,000 subscribers. You feel me? Come on now. We really did it. We really did it. Like 1,000 subscribers. That's crazy. Like, imagine 1,000 right now. 1,000 people in front of you. Just imagine that. Like 1,000 people really in front of you. Oh man, that's a lot. That's a lot. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Thank you, God. You know what I'm saying? I'm very grateful. You know what I mean? Thank y'all for tuning out to this episode. Thank y'all for tuning out to this course, this class. You can refer it to a friend of a friend. If your friend might not love themselves, refer it to that friend, and that friend don't love itself. Listen, it just gotta trickle down, because I want y'all to love y'allself. So share this video, share this course. Thank you for attending this episode. Thank you for attending this course. I would like to thank y'all. Once again, I'm Professor Tober, and this right here is Love Yourself 101. Listen, you gotta remember that in order to truly understand and master self-love, you gotta love yourself. This is Love Yourself 101. I love y'all.